by this now, I'm feeling the Lord telling me it's time to leave the job, and I'm not ready to say, okay, this was scared in my mind all along, because nope. At my age, if it is that I've wasted it, I've wasted a lot. And if it is that there's like purpose and calling, at my age, what exactly am I going to start? No. It was the most pleasantly confusing encounter I've ever had in my life. This went on for a while, and it got to the point where I'm unwillingly surrendering to the idea of purpose, faith, just the beginning. And I'm starting to tie them in, and I'm reading this chapter now. I'm singing this song, I'm playing this song every day, I'm reading this chapter, and I'm looking at purpose, I'm looking at faith, and by this now, I'm feeling the Lord telling me it's time to leave the job. And I'm not ready to say, okay, this was clear in my mind all along, because nope. But the job thing wasn't like as strong. It wasn't as poignant. Big words. Okay, I don't even know what that mean, but okay. But I know I got to the point now where it was like preparation mode for the next. I'm telling you this, I don't know if it's making sense to you, but this is literally what happened. It's like a wake up call, and it's a wave I'm just moving from, and I'm doing it, but I'm still in shock. I'm still in confusion as to what's happening, but I'm going. And I'm trying to find somebody to say this to, but it's like the Lord is saying, do not say a word, just do what I tell you to do. Shh. And I'm doing. I found myself, all my work stuff, I'm packing them up, I'm organizing them, and in my mind I'm saying I'm putting them here so that if it's needed and I'm not here, they can find it where it's supposed to be. I'm saying that, but I'm like, what did you just say? What do you mean if you're not there? But I'm preparing. And it was from there, from that morning of the tap on the shoulder, that everything changed. Mindset with like life and purpose, and thinking about if I had goals, or if I had dreams, or if I was even living with any intention, or it's just. And I realized eventually that all this time, all these years, Michaela was not living. Michaela was just merely existing. It was almost as if I was just walking around waiting to die. Oh, let me just. Why my belly I do this?
Like a hungry duckling.
Let me just go about my business until I die. Lord, when you ready, take me. Because what am I doing here? I didn't know that at the time, and I didn't realize that at the time. This realization came after leaving, after being home for a while, after the first encounter, which I ended because I thought it was death. 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 Okay. And so I'm getting now in the rhythm of things where I'm preparing and I'm saying, okay, this is actually a thing, and I'm now actually having a conversation with God, who I thought would never talk directly to me. And I'm processing, and I'm now realizing that He is calling me. I know we think that calling means you're hearing your name, Michaela, come here. He's calling me, and He's using all these moments to show me that He's trying to get my attention. I need your attention. I still didn't know at the time that it was, I need your attention so I can prepare you for what I have for you to do next. And the next included a whole heap of things which I wasn't ready for, which I didn't even realize what it was in the moment. But then he was trying to get my attention, and when he got my attention, he started pouring into me, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. And I was going along with it while I wasn't fully understanding it. But it's like I couldn't help myself. It was almost like he was just taking me, taking me, taking me. And that was it. I was at A, and all of a sudden, in the space of, this is probably 2 months, I was at point N. And I eventually realized that he was telling me it's time to leave the job. That part wasn't so easy because this is my job. And realizing in my encounters now that at the time I was saying, this is my life. If I give this up, who am I? What am I? And so that encounter from point A to point N, where I'm now in preparation mode, slowly realizing what's happening, accepting but not accepting. I was okay up to there until I realized the job leaving part was a thing. And this was a thing, like he gave me these words and these verses and these nudges that made me realize that you're not going beyond 2019 in this job. I have a 2020 vision for you, and you need to end this here. I eventually realized it, and I eventually said okay. And it didn't work out for 2019 because Michaela was a little bit disobedient. Michaela was a little bit, and ended up throwing my own self under the bus. But anyway, this is the I'm trying to get your attention story. And I he got a part of my attention, I guess. He got a part of it, and I reluctantly in some point did what he said, and happily did some I just did because why not? But it was that encounter that sparked this purpose girl, this thought of purpose, this reasoning of maybe you really do have something to do that's not just getting up, going to work, going to church, sing at church, come home, be nice to people, do this, do that. My mind started thinking this really could not be what life is about. And the more I processed it and started thinking, yeah, this probably isn't what life is about, was the more he deposited stuff in me. And it was all new to me because, like I said, I'm the girl who wasn't going to pray a lot. I'm the girl who wasn't going to read. I'm the girl who said, I don't understand. I don't understand the Bible when I read it, and when I pray, I don't know if God hear me. I was the girl who was stuck in, I'm not the most saved person, so maybe God doesn't even hear me anyway. I'm not the most saved person, so maybe if I say I'm such a bad person, so God wouldn't even answer me. When I tell you that I understand the struggles of the young people, I understand it, because where relationship with God is concerned, I never had that. And if I look back at my life and look at some of the struggling young ones, I can see myself in them, because you are going as a young one thinking, I'm good, I'm doing it right. You don't know that you're not doing it right because you just don't know. And my encounter here, my let me get your attention encounter, made me even more like empathetic to them. Because, and when I said them, I say young people, it's everybody, because we have big people who still know what a relationship with God is. I more see things as I don't see things like people who just always ready to tear down and rebuke and say, how could you not know? How could you, like, if you don't know, you don't know, you know. So this thing where I'm now looking back at my life and realizing that I really thought those were, that was okay for me to do in the moment. That was what I knew. This experience makes me even more empathetic to them and to people who are struggling to understand what life with Christ is about, to understand that they even have purpose. One of the reasons I use Hey Purpose Girl for the handle on Instagram, the page which may go, and Hey Purpose Girl for the website is because I want, you know how you'll be passing by somebody and you hear something sound like your name and you instantly look, or somebody calls your name, you answer to your name. I want it to be like me. I'm depositing that thing in your mind where every time you see it, Hey Purpose Girl, it becomes ingrained where you're thinking about it. Hey Purpose Girl, me. And it moves from me to, but what if? And it moves to, maybe. And it moves to, let me see. And it moves to you actually walking in it. It's intentional. But anyway, back to the story. So my journey of becoming started with zero. It started at zero. It started at a girl wondering who is talking to me. What are you saying? Are you crazy? No. To starting to think of the possibility, to starting to do little things. I started saying, well, even if it's my mind, it's not something that's bad, so what's the harm? The Lord literally called me to get my attention. And when He did, He was like, long, you're trying to get your attention. Or He probably said, no, we can talk. No, we can talk. And so leaving the job was it. What it should have been for me was no using that time to say, okay, Lord, you have me now. What's that? I didn't do that. But we'll get into that. I didn't do that. But leading up to that, it was a whole new experience for me, weird experience, but one that changed everything. It wasn't the easiest thing, but I'm telling you now, it's so worth it. And what will happen is you will find that these little encounters now, though strange and new, it's gonna start developing this relationship where you're like, oh, you're talking to me, Lord, and I'm talking to you, you're answering, and we're having a talk. Oh, this is nice. This is nice, girl. Yeah, it's gonna start something absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait for you to experience it. And if you have already experienced it, yay! Let's keep the other sisters up in prayer. Okay, cool. So if you find the Lord saying to you, take a break, take a moment, take some leave in a weird way that you've never heard Him like tell you to do. Because you take your leave all the time, but you feel like, because at first I was trying to apply for some leave to figure out if it's my mind, if I'm just tired and want to take a break from work, and it's my mind telling me that you need to leave your job. I was trying to, so I was like, let me apply for some leave and go home. Maybe I need some rest that my mind can come back to. Because maybe this is me being tired and it's taking a toll on me. And so I'm thinking that it's time to go so I can just be done with this. The leave never worked. And it wasn't my mind. Okay. I don't know if you have experienced it. I don't know if you'll experience it. I hope you will. And when I say if you will, of course the Lord is going to get your attention if He has work for you to do. When I say if you will, I mean the way I did. But I pray that if you are at the point where you hear the calling, if you feel the tap on your shoulder, that you will be able to put yourself aside on what you think you are worth and give it a listening ear. Give that thing that you're not sure what it is a listening ear. And just like I got to the point where I said, what's this? The curiosity caused something else to spark, and then another thing sparked, and then here we are. I hope the same for you. I pray the same for you, that you will, if you feel the Lord saying, I want to have a word with you. If you feel the Lord saying, there's this thing. If you feel the Lord saying, do, go, say, come here, tap into it. If you're not certain, it's okay to, approach it with a, I'm not sure what this is, but still, you just need a little window for Him to move. Because while He can force us, because He has the power to, it's not in His character to force anything on us. Because even though Jonah never wanted to go, the Lord didn't just rough him up and say, go on now. He did His thing till Jonah came to the realization that this is what I need to do. So the Lord got my attention, and He gave me the instructions for the next step, which we will talk about in the next video, I think, hopefully, which is me leaving my job and what happened after. As usual.
And cut. I just want to stop here to say thank you guys so much for coming along, sisters. I appreciate you being here. Okay. All right, back to the scene and go.
Let's talk in the comments. And until the next video, mark your seat and come back here. Remember, don't leave me in these journey streets. Come back here so we can chat. Cool? Cool. Let's go.